Hi, John Maxwell here, and welcome to Minute with Maxwell and this exciting influencer series in honor of the top leaders of my 7 global organizations who have come together to form the John Maxwell Enterprise and are joining me in my most exciting and significant leadership endeavor yet. George Hoskins has been following and consulting with my organization dating way back into the early 2000s with the Million Leader Mandate launch through my nonprofit organization, Equip. The 2 most significant influencers in George's life are his uncle Bob Hoskins, who's the founder of One Hope, an incredible man, and myself. And I'm excited about the work that he is going to do and the level that he is going to take us in our nonprofit spaces. George now serves as Vice President of Community Leadership Solutions. George, I am so honored to teach on your word today, which is territory. When George gave me that word, my first response was, George, what do you mean by territory? Because sometimes I look at that word in a negative way. It's kind of like, well, this is my territory, this is my space, and I put fences around it, and I protect what I do, and it's my job, and I've got guard dogs on the outside making sure that you don't get into my space and my territory. Well, if you know George Hoskins, you know that's not what he means when he picked territory as his word. Here's what George shared with me. John, Equip, the nonprofit organizations, the John Maxwell Leadership Foundation, they already have an established territory, and I'm coming on the team to enlarge your territory. I'm coming on the team to tear down the existing fences and expand. It reminds me of when I was a young pastor in Hillham, Indiana, a country kind of church with a lot of farmers. And we really grew, and so we bought some new acres. We had to build a new church to accommodate the people that were coming. And I went down to the French Lick Bank, and the banker there, I was a 24-year-old kid asking for my first big loan, and he really liked me. He knew about what I was doing, but he gave me a great story. He said, John, when I loan money to farmers, he said, that's our clients, the farming community. When they come in and they ask for a loan, I always ask them a question: are you fencing in or are you fencing out? And I thought, wow, that's a great question. And I said, well, what do you mean by fencing in, fencing out? He said, well, if the farmer tells me they're fencing in, what they're telling me is they have no plans to get more territory, to buy more land. They're just going to protect what they have. They're just going to fence it in and try to just hold on and maintain. And he said, John, if they're fencing in, I don't loan them the money because there's no future there. But if they tell me they're fencing out, in other words, they're buying some more acres and they want to plant some more crops and they want to put some more cattle on that land. The moment he says that they tell me they're fencing out, that their vision is bigger than what they've got and they're expanding and they got the big picture, he said, I try to loan them the money because he said, when you're fencing out, there's a future. George, when you picked the word territory, you were telling me, John, we're going to fence out. We're going to expand our territory. We're going to help more people, lift more people, add value to more people. We're not going to stay the same. And George, it's already happening under your leadership. I'm so glad to have you on the team. And what I know is this: as long as you're leading the charge for our nonprofits, we'll be fencing out, going into new territory, expanding our influence and our outreach. That's who you are, George. You're just a fence-out kind of a guy. Thanks for being with us today on Minute with Maxwell.